up, John? Jeff, how you doing? Welcome. We're starting in 15 seconds. 13 seconds? I don't know how to tell time. 5, 4, 3, 2, and let's get going. What's up, Jeff? Not much, man. Welcome to our second episode of the Happy Hour. It is Happy Hour Part 2. Yeah. Technically, we did this show, my wife and I did this show about 2 years ago. It was a radio show that was broadcasted like this, and it revolved around things that were going on in our world, but it also had, you know, it revolved around happiness. I'm good to see you too, Jeff. And I think you guys will agree that the world needs to focus more on happiness nowadays more than ever, so we resurrected it. Sorry about the poop emoji. My wife gave me a hard time about it. She's like, Zenith, you're a cognitive behavioral therapist. I'm about to graduate in about 2 months or less. Or, you know, you're studying neuroscience. That's really, really immature. I disagree. It's not like I put fart sounds on there, you know. That would make it much more immature and awkward for everyone involved. And I don't really appreciate the judgment, so. Anyhow, if you missed yesterday's episode, yesterday we played a game because I had Brendan Cook with us, and as a penalty, because I lost the game, this happened.
Yeah.
That's my wife cheering. Yeah, actually, let's go ahead and run it again because I think it's hilarious how much my wife is very happy that I'm getting slapped in the face. So one more time. Yeah, she's happy. And look, she sounds like a cougar. My favorite part is here, right here. Look at Brendan. He's like, I've been waiting to do this for so long. Now, I did post that half of the video today. It is strictly on YouTube. I'm trying to wave to everybody. Hold on. It is strictly on YouTube. Welcome, by the way, Pedro, Sherry, Virginia. So if you have not yet, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It has 185 videos. Many of them are very similar to this type of concept. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok. I mean, thanks so much for being supportive. If you have already supported and watching our videos, if you like this video or other videos, make sure you give us a like and share. Yeah, I did just call my wife a cougar, Jeff, even though she's way younger than me. And anyhow, of course, make sure that you subscribe. Now, in today's video, we don't have a guest. So we will not be playing our typical game, which we would play at this point in time, okay? All right, but it's hard to get guests here and scheduling because we're right now currently on lockdown. So thanks for being very, very understanding about what's happened. I mean, all right, you know what? Anyways, we're going to go ahead and dive right into our mental health topic that we wanted to do. And when we talk about mental health or happiness, every scientist always brings out the 10-50-40. It looks like this. And what scientists have found when you're looking at happiness is that 10% of your happiness is based on circumstances. Now, that alone is mind-blowing, because what that means is that I can literally know if you have a college education, a career, how much you make a year, if you're married, if you have 2.4 children, a dog, a cat, the White House with the white picket fence, and then yet I can still only predict your happiness with a 10% certainty, because it's circumstantial, and that isn't what actually affects our happiness. The other 50% of it is genetics. We found out that genetically you may have a predisposition or a proclivity for happiness, depending on your DNA that you got from mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, and so on and so forth. So what is that other 40%? Scientists had no idea. And I'm not joking, scientists had this guy right here is one of our brightest scientists, and he has no idea what that other 40% is. But what the 40% is stuff we control. Let me just leave that there for a second, because that's crazy. That means, again, I can know that you are filthy rich. I can know all that and have a 10% certainty, but 40% is the stuff we can control. Yeah, really. That is eye-opening, because it means that the 10% is based on ourselves. It's based off our brain. Now, when I first came across this information, I had just recovered from a brain accident, a motorcycle accident, and I had 60% of the surface of my brain damaged. Not to mention that less than a year ago, I had a stroke and I had more of my brain damaged. Thank you, Bill. You're awesome, man. I think I had 2 separate centimeters. Gina, help me out on that. 2 centimeters that were damaged.
You had 4 spots, a millimeter apiece.
Yeah, a millimeter apiece, 4 different spots. And so to know that my brain was dependent on my happiness.
My brain is like oatmeal.
My brain was like oatmeal. And so that was a little bit crazy until I came across this info. It's called the ABCs. What the ABCs basically dictate is, well, first let me introduce who came across the theory of ABCs. His name is Albert Ellis. This guy, had a stroke about a year ago, Jeff. So this guy invented the ABCs of cognition, which makes him kind of gangster. And what the ABCs teach you is that A is an activating event, B is a belief, and C is the consequence. What that means is, let me give you a hypothetical. Let's imagine that you get a job vacuuming water out of carpets that somebody had a pipe break or something, right? Your feeling about that particular situation might be neutral. But now let's imagine, wave to Bill. Now imagine that you have that same job, but you do it with your best friend and you're dying laughing all day, vacuuming water out of the carpet, right? Now a third scenario, you own a home and one day in the middle of dinner, a pipe breaks and water is all over your carpet everywhere and you have to vacuum it out. So in the first scenario, you might be neutral. In the second scenario, you might enjoy vacuuming water, but in the third scenario, you suffer. And really nothing changed in those 3 scenarios except for B, what you believed about the scenario. Here's another example. Imagine that you are at a stoplight and the light turns green, and then immediately after, somebody slightly honks. If you're anything like me, you're tempted to get out of the car and lay down on the hood and start sunbathing, you know? Because it was a minor little beep, you know, to remind you that the light is green, but doesn't it tick you off? Now imagine that same scenario, but when you look out the rearview mirror, it's your friend that, you know, is giving you a hard time that he spotted you on the road and he wants to say hi. Same scenario, the only thing that changed was the B. It's called the ABC of cognition. Hi, Monica. So the ABC of cognition, again, says that you have an adversity, right? Oh, I didn't get selected for choir. And many of us live under the impression that A causes C. You have this adversity, something that takes place, and then it makes you feel that way. How many of you have said to your spouse, You hurt my feelings. You made me sad. Hi, Monica. We all do that, you know? Or my boss really ruined my day. But it's not A that affects C. We're forgetting this middle part. Is what we think about what happened that actually causes C. So if we want to change C, if we don't enjoy the feeling, in this particular case, she didn't make the choir, so she has the interpretation that she's a horrible singer. So now she feels sad, she feels less than, she feels unworthy. But if she changes B, like, hey, you know, I gave it my best, next year I'll do it, or you know what, this other particular person was way better fit than me, or you know what, that maybe that isn't my calling, I can do this, I can do that. Just changing this changes this. So we'll go more into details tomorrow. In fact, tomorrow we'll go into D and E, because there's A, B, C, D, E. But for now, we'll leave it at that. And we're going to go ahead and say peace. And no, I didn't again put the fart sounds. That would be... Why would I do that? That's... Come on. Yeah, that's... I'm not. One more. There it goes. All right, it's been the happy hour. The show's not an hour long. It's usually 15, 20, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, but it revolves around happiness. And it also gives us an opportunity to remind ourselves that we should never limit happy to 1 hour. Guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure you stay tuned tomorrow, okay? Deuce.